Hi, YouTube. Clayton some pipe here. Enjoying a Saturday smoke after a wonderfully eventful couple of days. Smoking my Edwards Royce line. Volcano Plateau. Anyway, ain't it? Enjoying Hartenstein Trail, really, which is one of my favorite lap bombs. Are quite a noticeable, especially for a bulk tobacco, quite a noticeable and pervasive Latakia taste to it. Very nice. I really enjoy it. It smokes cool. It's very good. I've yet to try Northwoods, but it's what I imagine Northwoods tasting like, or at least somewhere close. I'm enjoying, in my humble opinion, one of the finest, kind of my everyday beer, if I could afford to drink it every day. 1554, just dark malty. So, updates. We had our Burns supper last night. It was a riot. A lot of fun. Haggis is wonderful. It's not going to replace hamburgers or anything. It's expensive anyway to get. But, now granted, ours was made in America. Evidently, lung, maybe esophagus material is not allowed in American food thanks to the FDA, so you can't import them from Scotland. But we got some that was made here in America without the things we're not allowed to use. And it was really tasty. Like I say, I won't make it an everyday affair by any stretch, but it was really good. So if you've got an idea that you won't like haggis, it is worth trying. Absolutely. Or maybe if you have such the desire. Neeps and tatties, delicious. April made a Scotch bread. That was Scottish bread, not Scottish bread. Drank a really good beer. A couple of them, actually. Belhaven was okay. I liked that. It was actually Scottish. And then Great Divide has one called Claymore, which is a wee heavy Scottish ale. And it's nice. If you ever had McEwen's, very reminiscent of McEwen's. At least as good as Old Chub, and maybe it's just a wee bit better. So that was fun. Did a bunch of poetry readings afterwards, and Robert Burns readings, and played my pipes. Just fun. Kids didn't complain too much. It's a very loud instrument for the indoors, of course. But overall, just a wonderful cultural experience, and to have some friends over and gather around. One, our friendship, but two, the contributions of one fairly remarkable man, poet, also around Scottish culture and heritage, and most importantly, family and friends. What else do you have at the end of the day? Save your faith in the Lord and the people that He's given you to care for. I did want to share one poem. Robert Burns has been something of a new last few months affectation for me. And if you're interested in hearing some of them, I believe you can get a podcast of BBC people there's a BBC podcast of people reading Scottish folk actors, famous actors, Brian Cox and some others, reading his poetry, and it's really cool to hear it performed by actors of that caliber. But I would add that as I've been reading through, I got this book, complete poems and songs, I believe, of Robert Burns. And, I mean, he is remarkable take on life, wonderful. view of things, and just as a poet should, has a great way with words. So, light themes, important themes, and all over the place. I'd want to note that I have never read, at least it's coming to mind immediately, a manlier poet. Maybe some of the work in Lord of the Rings, come to mind, or Beowulf, or John Milton, something like that. But as far as modern, he's often called a romantic, and there are definitely those pieces too. But the poem I want to share with you is called "I Away from My Ain." Disclaimer: I'm not Scottish. I mean, somewhere in my lineage I'm supposed to be, but my Scottish pronunciation is weak. However, Robert Burns wrote in Scots, so I'm going to do my very best, and please be kind in your criticisms. I away from my ain, I'll partake with nobody. I'll take cuckold from nane, I'll gie cuckold to naebody. I have penny to spend, there, thanks to naebody. I ain't nothing to lend, I'll borrow for naebody. I ain't nobody's lord, I'll be slave to naebody. I hae a good bread sword, I'll take duns for naebody. I'll be merry and free, I'll be sad for naebody. Naebody cares for me, I care for naebody. It's really a remarkable poem. And I love the sentiment behind it. Obviously we could take it to unhealthy extremes, but I just love the attitude of he seems to take responsibility for himself, just kind of wants to be left, substantially left alone, doesn't want to be anyone's slave nor anyone's master. I read in this, care for the things that are his and not stand insult. One of the many Robert Burns poems, and I'm sure I'll be on sharing some more later. He's got some that are just really clever. Quite a few, actually. I'd also add, if you're interested in something, in hearing some of the songs that he wrote, there's a great recording, or I fancy a great recording, by Ewan MacColl. Under the name E-W-A-N, MacColl. Who does really simple recordings of these kind of folky tunes, which is of course the words written by Robbie Burns. Do listen to it if you can, preview it before you do, because it's pretty unique and stylized, and it might not meet your expectation. Though if you expect what it was attempting to be, it will certainly meet your standard. I've gone too long.